Hello, everyone, and thank you for hosting us at AP Lab this evening. Welcome to the second ABSL IT Club by Authority Partners event. And this is our first IT Club event that we're actually doing in a hybrid mode, so both on-site and online. It's a privilege to say hi to everyone here and present online to a unique event that we tailor-made together with partners from Authority Partners. Today, we're talking about revolutionizing IT governance and project management. And I won't take long of your time. I would just like to express our sincere gratitude to Authority Partners for being our friends and partners in excellence for 3 years since our establishment and for taking the lead in this year's ID Club. I'm sure this is just the start of a whole new chapter of our collaborative activities in fostering knowledge sharing and excellence in our both local and regional communities. Today, I have the honor to introduce actually our guest speaker, coming from Authority Partners. Noura wrote a small biography to me, so I'm better prepared. But I also read a lot about Jasmin. We actually experienced that he was also a professor in the time I was a student at university. So Jasmin is for almost 2 years at Authority Partners and more than 15 years in IT. I would say one of those pioneering experts in the industry. What he's passionate about and I heard of is Legos, and I think it's quite logical when it comes to project management. He's specialized also in creative problem solving. That's why he's not only a project manager, but also a program manager at AP. And Legos are in this kind of logic, we'll see, I think, today also in the presentation, not just for kids, but serious project management tools. So Jasmin, thank you for sharing your knowledge today with our community. I'm sure it will be excellent.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, for a simple introduction. It's my pleasure to be here. Hello, everybody. Hi, it's a pleasure to see you all, and I cannot express my gratitude to have the opportunity to present to you all of this. Yes, I'm passionate about Lego. I'm passionate about program and project management. Also passionate about puzzles, but you'll see that in the upcoming slides. So let's begin. It will be my pleasure today to guide you through today's journey. I'll start by opening up with a warm welcome words. When I say warm welcome words, I actually speak about myself. But most importantly, I will speak about Authority Partners. And after that, I will explain to you and guide you through our topic. Main topic that you already heard from Adi, but we will basically cover the elements that make the essence of our way how to govern projects within Authority Partners. So it includes PMO governance framework, our core essence of the teamwork, and later on we'll see which tools actually help us in Excel and fulfill our mission to be excellence and to deliver excellence all the way along. Of course, at the end, you will have a chance for us to talk, to ask Q&A session, and for the viewers online also to submit questions and to see. So welcome. About me, I'm a program manager. I'm also PM manager. I've been in industry, as Adi said, almost 15 years. But I have to say, all academic, everything background, all experience, all CV stuff you can see online. But what I'm most passionate about, and what I think that the essence of my existence is that I consider life to be a lifelong learner. And why is that important? You'll see along the way with the slides, and I'll make a short circle back to this fact. But in my case, I really believe that all my life I tend to learn and continue learning. So when somebody asks me, who are you? I always say I'm a lifelong learner. But I also believe that the change is the only constant thing, and we need to improve in order to excel in whatever we do. So that's a little bit about me, but a little bit more about Authority Partners. As you are aware, we are a really ideal global partner. When I say global, I really mean global. It's all over the world. You can see the map, but it started all 25 years ago in the United States and California. Now it's spread across 3 continents. We employ more than 500 consultants present on the 5 continents. Teams are amazing with the different cultural backgrounds and really amazing opportunities to work from 30 countries. Challenging a little bit to work in 13 different time zones, but at the end, on the weekly level, we burn almost 15K hours of engineering and producing the valuable work that we stand by and that we believe in. So when we do our work, we basically focus our work on the services that we provide to our clients and to everything that we do on the daily basis. We can always say that everything starts from a great team. You can always say that everything starts with a team that you are actually working on. And that's actually the core and starting point that we offer as our services from the model of the staff augmentation, where we augment your power by employing and having to use our brain and our knowledge and experience to excel in what you do. The next step is actually when you move from the team and you have actually managed team, and we give extra power to that team to manage whatever the work, challenge, opportunity, vision you have and that we need to fulfill jointly and together. But also we come along and bring different roles in the play. And you will see that the multiple roles are present in the authority partners. And on top of everything, what I've already said, when we are augmented, we are managed, and we are a team. We also offer services like product manager that help you build your software solution, build your solution for the problems that you encounter. And the last one, on top of everything, is the one that helps clients adopt the best practices and new technologies, where we offer a solution architect to give you the transformation of the business that you actually have. So we aim to transform wherever you do today to the better work that you do in the future. Okay, so how do we do this? And especially coming from the world that some client is new or existing, how do we use and employ our method in fulfilling everything that I said so far through these services? Well, the process is basically streamlined, and it goes over the timeline from the workshop and discovery phases that we encounter first when we realize what is the issue, what is the problem we would like to solve together with you and to provide the solution in order for you to enhance. It then goes to the creative mode where we co-create, we create ideas, we create the solution, and we come up with the solution that you actually might need. Then we enter the really interesting cycle, and that cycle is a lean agile project delivery cycle, which basically runs us and goes from the backlog, planning, design, continuous integration, continuous delivery, demoing, road mapping, and in the cycles where you actually showcase the excellence and showcase the work that you deliver on the daily basis. We also believe in the user feedback. We also believe in providing MVP solutions. We also believe in providing early feedback with the test results, with the success, even with the failures, which you celebrate and learn from. And then moving over, you go to the handover or transition or to the managed team, or we repeat the cycle all over again, and then we have solution in place. I wondered when we would ask our clients, why do you choose us actually? And how do you measure the response that the client gets from the question how do you measure the responses when you ask the certain question, why our clients choose, renew, and grow with authority partners? Well, facts speak for itself. And it's the statements from the client, like on the right side, that actually matter and that actually prove that we are delivering experience and better outcomes with a lower total cost of engagement. But then we also focus on the clients that gave us the feedback, that gave us the Net Promoter Score, that gave us emphasize what are our strong values, emphasize what they liked, what they didn't like, and that gave us the opportunity to learn and to grow from that. And that basically, in essence, brings us to the topic that we're going to talk about today. So the topic is revolutionizing governance, accelerating IT project management with innovative tools. So this is our main topic for today. When we say IT project management, we usually start with thinking projects. Then usually we always come to the conclusion that everything evolves around the projects. We also think that we need to control only projects. We also think that we need to put in place frameworks, tools to manage projects. But in essence, it's actually a process that is much bigger than that. You encounter with a framework in which you need to manage portfolio of programs of projects that produce products that throughout the lifetime have their life cycle of their own. So you basically find yourself in a challenge that any given point in time, when you start to work and when you work in a delivering, for example, project, you might be a part of the bigger picture, which is called program. You also might be a bigger picture that is called portfolio. But at the end, you always must be in focus and always sharp focused on the product that at the end you deliver. And then focus also on thinking, how can I go from introduction, growth, maternity, decline? What is it that I do next? But this is all theory. And we will have one situation where we will meet our dear Noura. Hi, Noura. Noura, in real life, is not a program manager. But in this case, hi, Noura, you are the new program manager at Authority Partners. So you have applied for a position to work as a program manager. You fit in with the program manager role. Your role is perfect for the solution. We have a client, we have a program for you. So hello and welcome. So what is it that you did your first day in Authority Partners?
What all of us did on our first day at Authority Partners. I read the policies.
Exactly. So you might wonder why. Well, if we say that Authority Partners is big, as we said, 500 consultants, multiple continents, workload that is consuming a lot of hours on the weekly basis, why is it that we need those policies? Why is it that we need an explanation on how do you do your job on the first day that you come to Authority Partners? Well, exactly because of the size. When you grow and when you have exponential growth, the best way for you to continue delivering what you delivered even when you were a little bit littler or smaller, you actually need to have described processes that basically tell you how to execute it on a daily basis. Yes, we have those processes. And the first process you as a program manager should start with the beginning of the program management and the way, how do you do program management? And your first role, of course, as the program manager, which is perfectly described. I would say, yes, the role is perfectly described within the policy. Policy has a couple of the pages describing what is your roles and responsibilities, what are you accountable for, who do you need to inform or consult, and so on. But if you ask me, Noura, I would say to you right away, you are the conductor of the orchestra. You simply have to perceive yourself as a conductor of the orchestra. Everybody will play the music, all individually, but you need to conduct to create beautiful music that is actually heard, and that actually you need to work on it so that everybody works according to the rhythm, so that you produce the music that everybody enjoys. If you produce noise, then that's a different story. In order for me to say, hello, program manager, you're the conductor, I need to tell you that you have the orchestra. Yes, you have the team that you work with. We value very much the team that you're going to be assigned with. We value the work that you're going to do with the team. But the most important part is that you read the policies, you understand your role, and then you realize I have the orchestra, but how do I play the music, right? And how big of the need for all of that is, okay, we have the policy portal, we have the policies that describe the way how we work. Those are our tools. We are certified in ISO standard 9001 for the quality measures 27001 for the information security standard. We are certified by the Bureau Veritas. We have this. We have the proven track record that we do this. We're in a really good enterprise scale size of the AP that is today. But all of that is combined in the policy portal. You have the access right away. On the policy portal, you have the guidelines. You have the policies, you have even templates for everything that you need to use. You have 20 plus supporting roles being there, explained how do you communicate one with another. Everything is done by the book. And you also have explained the wow effect. Wow effect is the way you work, way of work. I like to call it wow effect. But at the end, how do you produce, again, the music? How do you make sure that it actually sounds good, so that you do not produce the noise? For those purposes, we thought about it for a long time, how to make sure that everything, all the pieces fit together. If I compare this to the Lego, yes, I need to make sure that if the client has on the box vision of the car that you need to build, you need to know and make sure how to go through the guidelines and which guidelines to use to get to that car. If you're going to compare that to the puzzle, it's the same analogy. So we started to think about how can we bring all of the different tools we have in the company so that we try to create a framework within which you can use that tool on the basis that I already explained to you, on the way of work, on the policies, on everything that you have at disposal in your hands, and how are you able to utilize that to create the music? So we created so-called the anatomy of the program management, the PMO governance framework. Okay, first things first. What should I start that program PMO governance framework with? So the first day you started with a policy, and you immediately understood that you have the orchestra that you need to conduct. So we start with the team. Okay, let's build out the full transparency of the team composition that you got assigned to. Everything starts and ends with a team. So you need to focus on the team. You need to build a team within the framework. You need to manage the team within the framework. You need to manage the access. You need to manage the rights. You need to manage the plans of boarding, offboarding, management of the team, billability, overview, assignments, everything that is related to the team. And you, of course, you need to work on growing your team. By growing, I'm not just emphasizing the fact about the numbers, adding team members. No. By growing, I also mean by growing when you build the team so that the team has growth in knowledge, in experience, and expertise. On top of that, you encounter yourself that you need to manage the timeline. I understand what I need to do for the timeline management, but how do I do it? How do I know that I'm managing my schedule in a proper way? Which tools I can use to do that and to utilize the schedule? On top of that, how can I report the timeline? Give an overview, and say on the bigger scale, I'm there. On smaller scale, I'm here. My planned next period of time is this and that. How do I track my key important milestones? I need to report those milestones. I need to reflect on those milestones. And I need to compare my success towards those milestones. And at the end, this is the whole big roadmap. Okay, I am the small puzzle and piece in what I'm doing. But remember the slide with the portfolio, program, project, and product. My product has the roadmap in which I need to fit. My puzzle needs to fit in the big picture. On top of that, I need to also track, update, manage everything that I'm actionable, everything that is actionable, everything that is assigned that my team needs to track the progress, needs to assign, needs to have actionable item. Those items can come from internal purposes, from internal communication, from different stakeholders. Those items can come from the work, from the team. Those items can come from the company side. One good example that we're going to see later on is actually the measurement and the items that I need to do to improve so that I'm compliant to all the processes that I have in place. On top of that, I need to every day manage my documents. I need to manage the files that I'm utilizing for the process of the program and everything that I do. Written traces. I need to manage the documents, organize in a proper way so that I have the framework that will allow me and my colleagues to have the full transparency and visibility. And that at any given moment, you have the record of what you did yesterday, months ago, months ago, or years ago, and that you have the plans for the future. So you need to properly store and manage all project documentation, collaborative documentation, everything that leaves a trace and helps others in the team to work on. I will encounter with the risks. I will identify them, and then I will track if they actually occurred. I will assign risk owners, and I will check if that actually is addressed as a risk or as an action item. I need to know that I'm able to track those risks, and I need to know that I'm having action items to follow up if that risk actually occurs. What is it that we are going to do as the action plan for that risk? Before it occurs, I need to know my mitigation plan and contingency plan. So those are all the puzzle pieces that come in place for the risk management. Every day I'm encountered with the way how I'm going to manage my KPIs. It's not just you reach your KPIs. Okay, you will reach your KPIs, but the essence of your work and the music that you create in getting those is your ability to manage them. And then when you showcase that you actually are able to manage your KPIs, regardless of the color, you're not afraid. You're not afraid to report that something is red, something is yellow, something is green. Actually, green is not related to the fear, but these yellow and red ones are. But don't be afraid. It actually shows you the essence of your work is showcased in the way how do you manage that redness, that yellowness, and what is it that you need to do to manage those and to record the steps that you went through to get to those. A couple of more puzzles actually brings us to the situation your team members are asking, hey, Noura, where is my document for this and that? Hey, Noura, where am I going to organize the sprint retrospective? Hey, Noura, or somebody else in the team, let's bring a group chat, 3 of us. Let's discuss this. Let's move one step behind and think about it. What could have I done to prevent those questions? What could have I done better upfront so that people don't have the need to ask me that? How can I build my wiki page? How can I build my knowledge base so that my team members, so that my program manager, my clients, my stakeholders don't need to create another group chat to ask me? That's not the visibility and transparency that you need to build will actually prevent additional questions and additional noise that can come in a way that while you play your orchestra, conduct your orchestra and play the music. And consider that as a single source of truth. Speaking of the single source of truth, everything that is organized by that methodology in the circle that you've seen on one of the previous slides actually proves that you are running in sprints. Everything that the team is doing on the bi-weekly basis, everything needs to be tracked, everything needs to be estimated and properly planned so that you can best possible way utilize a tool that is just going to bring the backlog to the surface and say, in this sprint to this day, I'm doing this and that. I'm sure that all my work is tracked, estimated, logged. And this is the single point of truth where you check my capacity, where you check my plans, where you check my location, my remaining hours, my tasks, and the work that I need to do. And of course, integrate all of that with internal tools like timesheets. Speaking of the timesheets and speaking of the logs that you need to log along the way, there's some moments in time where you will notice that something is taken different direction. You play the music, but something is going in a different direction. Okay, we need a decision to make to change that and to adjust the sound that you're producing. You need to log those decisions because looking back at the time after a month, 2, 5 months, or a year, you'll ask yourself, what got us to this situation? What happened? How did we get to this? We decided this back and then and logged it in a proper way. Also, before the work actually starts, you always assume something. Assumptions are part of the human nature. We always assume something will happen. But it's different when you assume and keep it in your head. It's a totally different story when you assume and log it and then review that as an assumption with which you start your work. And then you circle back and realize, were you on a good track or not? And of course, one of the main pain points of each project is the change requests and how to manage them and how to change the direction when the team is going somewhere. And I simply need to turn the ship and go another way because there has been a change. Those are all the parts of the log that you need to have. So as I said at the beginning, which actually tools support all of this? And when you realize in that framework, without even counting in your head, you actually use on the daily basis 12 different tools. But I knew all of those tools before. They were separate places. But I never realized that actually when you build it within the one framework, while using it and while doing all of the things that I've already mentioned, at the same time, at any given point in the day, you realize you're using 12 different tools to support your process. From the SharePoint, from the Power Apps, from the Microsoft Lists, Microsoft Projects, Timeline, from Teams. And then you ask yourself again the question about your orchestra. What's the main dominator for all of my teams when we communicate and do the actual teamwork? It's Teams. So why don't we build this framework on top of that? Building it on top of that, it will be perceived from the team perspective that you're not bringing yet another tool because you don't want to do that. You want to bring a tool that is so close to the teams, so familiar and on a daily basis. And then you integrate that in your day-to-day activities. That's the way you build the framework. For example, Noura, hi. It's you again. I need to ask you. You are a part of your program management. You are the program manager. You are managing process compliance. You're managing your CAPA items, corrective and preventive actions. And we are asking you, you did all of that work by creating Kappa items, corrective actions that you need to implement with your team. We need to know how are you doing this. Simply by doing it and reporting on it, you're using 5 different tools to do that and to do your main job. And how do you do that? For example, so you utilize one report that is on the weekly basis with your manager, with the team, with a leadership meeting, with the leadership team, with a client. You actually try to utilize and explain the value that you did along the way. But how to explain it without saying, okay, I will open 5 tools now. When I open all of these 5 tools, I'll explain to you. No. We need a framework. We need a link between those 5 tools so that when you are in a situation that you need to say how much of the value you did, which problems did you encounter, which KPIs did you check, how good are you progressing towards the KPI, targeted value, everything that you have planned for, we need to use it simply. We need that to be catchy and understanding. An overview gives you the possibility within the one tool to actually say all of this. So you can see, for example, here, by counting the different Kappa items, corrective and preventive actions that are assigned to you over the course of time, I can track how do you manage them. I can track how do you close them. I can check, are you reaching the target that we set for you for those action items over the course of time? Because each one of them is coming up from a different audit. And remember those policies, and remember when we said that we are certified. When it comes to from that perspective, we also integrated that in all of the tools so that it's easy for you to track, monitor, and succeed. That's not all. We really need to circle back and say that you are actually doing the most valuable work by doing the work within those tools, but for the team, with the team. So the essence of creating the excellence is actually the value that you do together with your team. So who is your team that goes along with you? For example, we have 20 plus supporting roles in AP defined by the policies, but on your day-to-day job, on the day-to-day mission to do something, you have delivery excellence lead who will make sure that you are delivering excellence. You also have different program management or PM, different engineering managers who will be there to help you and to guide you and to support you with your team, who will guide and care of the team and the knowledge and the career path and certifications and everything that goes along with the mission that you as a team actually grow. You have client executive. You have the person that is a front face with a client who will be there with you when in communication with the client, doing the client, doing the client-related work, and together with you, making sure that your value that you brought by doing your job, utilizing all of these tools, showing your progress is properly communicated and properly appreciated on the other side on the way of your project management. Of course, you need to have a Scrum Master who will be your right hand in the teamwork. Yes, I see some hands up in the air. Yes. You will be there to make sure that all the ceremony, all the acts in the circle, everything that you do on the daily basis is properly on the right track. When I say properly on the right track, you're on the project side and the timelines, you can think big. On the Scrum level, you need to think small. So it's on a daily basis, making sure that you deliver everything according to what you stand for. Then, of course, you have your Scrum team. Your Scrum team will be the essence of the value that you produce along the way. Build upon the different roles, from the quality assurance engineers to the software developers to the business analysts. They will together work with you in creating and fulfilling your vision. You'll be driven by portfolio, by program, by project, with the end in mind by the product, and utilizing all of these tools that you don't know, that you don't actually feel a burden of using those tools along the way, because your mission is to create the music. And there's one big part, talent management, which actually makes sure that all of our talents, all of our consultants are on the right path in their own personal growth. Not only our own consultants that are built on the left side, but also you, Noora, by delivering Academy of Excellence, academy that was built for the leaders, for those who lead, with 12 different modules over the period of 1 year that made sure that you fully understand the excellence that needs to be delivered in managing, communicating, and utilizing your day-to-day process. But remember, these are the 12 tools that actually combine your daily work, and their main mission in this framework is when you collaborate, use all of your 12 stars, communicate, and make sure that you deliver the value. You don't feel the burden of the framework, and you actually don't think about it in a way, yet another tool. But hold on, I have actually yet another tool. Remember those policies? Noura, do you remember everything that you read on the first day?
I just remember they exist.
You just remember that they exist, exactly. But you also remember that they are stored. They are documents that are stored in a certain shared location. They're documents that you can go and check and find something. But when you are actually, remember that I'm lifelong learner, but with the one that likes to solve problems in a creative way. How do you solve the problem when you know that it's defined how it should be done? How do you, when you face the problem, instantly need the response? Cannot remember how it was supposed to be by the book. I cannot remember how it was supposed to be by the process we described on our daily basis, that we can change it. We all agree that we do it the same because we are big and because we do a lot. So we created something that we call AP Assistant. So Noura reached out to AP Assistant and asked him, it's my first day. I just want to know how do you define program management. I just want to know where I can find, where is the definition of this? I am eager to find that out. I don't want to go through the different policies. Give me just this, please. It's my first day, I want to prove. So she asks the AP Assistant. AP Assistant is not yet another tool. It's actually a tool that we blended in this framework. It's a tool that is available to you as if you're talking to the real person, but it's actually AI. So we enable that tool that it is connected to everything that we know is the baseline that you have read on the first day, forgot on the fifth day, fully forgot about in a 10th day. But we want to make sure that it's at your hand, available when you need it, so that you ask for it when you have the problem, find the situation, or you simply need to remind yourself, what is it that I need to do? It's available as if you're communicating with another person. We have wrapped it up and we have presented it and worked on it as a GPT for the enterprise, as a solution that we offer that you can actually maintain, use to connect to the different sources, different data models, different type of data. In our case, we connected it with the one thing that you first encounter when you get to the AP, and the one thing that we understand that we need to have there because of the SATs, because of the certification, because of the standard that we aim for. And we wanted to make sure that it's also easily accessible to you within the framework that you use every day. So yes, we did that. We asked AP Assistant, what is the program management? We got a full definition. What is the program management? I'm sad that it doesn't say that it's a conductor of the orchestra, but I have to say that it's my definition, not the policy definition. But I'm also glad to see that it's present in three different policies where it basically describes you the bits and pieces of the wow, the way you work. So it defines the program management, how you do it. It defines the flow chart that basically shows you the process that I've shown you in the previous slide. It also explains when you get to the first need that you need to do this, how do you start? Where do you start? We have already communicated this over the two webinars that we held recently, which are available online in our YouTube channel. One tackling exactly the solution that I've just shown you as a part, as a tool that you use on a daily basis. Remember, without a burden, that it's actually a tool. So it's an AP Assistant. Another one is related to bringing this to another level. When I say to another level, also the first tool that you have encountered, Noura, when you started to work was the internal tools that we use for the day-to-day operations of logging your time. What is it that you did? Providing feedback, getting feedback, and managing things internally. Okay, so what is the next step? If you have within your day-to-day operations the things that you need to do and to go outside your safe zone, outside your framework, This AI tool also can help you do that. Connect it with the services that you need. So as you run the project, as you run the program, as you run the portfolio, build a product, work with a team. If you think about a service that you need on a daily basis to go outside of your project management framework, this tool also leverages that because we have managed to integrate, for example, giving the feedback. So within the tool, as you work on a day-to-day basis, we have recognized one of the services that we really are proud of. That's our feedback system that basically tracks your feedback, your performance, and is a systematic way, kind of gives you the platform to grow. So why not use that as a service within your framework, within what you do on the daily basis? So that's the next level. So these are the two webinars that we actually had a chance and that are available online. If you hadn't had a chance to see them, I strongly advise. I will end this part of our today's session with one quote that basically says that operations keep the light on, strategy provides a light at the end of the tunnel, but project management is the train engine that moves the organization actually forward towards that light tunnel. This strategy, this tool, this framework that we built upon at the beginning could have looked like it's just another certification, just another thing that you did, but no, it is actually the framework that brings the whole value and create your day-to-day operations so that by the strategy, when you see the end light at the end of the tunnel, you actually feel comfortable enough that you do your day-to-day operations and that you know every day, every step of the way that you're on a good path. That's the whole point. So thank you so much. Thank you, team. Thank you, online.